One of the biggest problems that I had when I first started working on this project in Juarez was that you're always seeing these like horrific events, and trying to humanize them is a really difficult task. Working in an area where cartels, their mission is to do the most gruesome thing and basically use it as a propaganda for their motives as a fear tactic and terrorism. As a photographer, working to kind of show humanity to it is quite difficult. This photograph, I think, is one of the most important photographs I ever made. It shows a pregnant woman in a last embrace with her partner. The assassin came and shot him through the head with a single bullet and took all their lives. And for me, this picture is really important because of what it represents, and it represents that there's a lot of innocent people that are dying right now in Mexico. And for many people outside of this region, this is not a message that's being heard because it's convenient for the Mexican government and US authorities to say that this war is only killing the people that are corrupted, or that they're cleaning out some bad entity of the population. But the reality is that thousands of people are dying, and of those, most of them are unarmed. The victims are between the ages of 18 years old, or 15, 16 years old, and 25 is the majority of the murder victims. And so when I focused on this, I realized I wanted to focus on youth and try to show that these people that were being killed were in a lot of ways innocent people. So these are some young men going to the front of their funeral. So I was looking for moments like in everyday life where you kind of see that contrast. Like, these people are obviously very used to this sort of situation. They're cutting up and laughing, but they're on their way to their friend's 15-year-old kid. This is, and at the same time, I wanted to show daily life. It's important as a photographer, you have to break down social barriers, because everybody, my main audience is the United States, because for me as an American photographer, it's very important that people in the United States see what's happening because of effects of US policy on the border. And so to make people relate, you have to make these kind of pictures too. These pictures that show them as humans and not just people that are being slaughtered. It's one thing to make violent pictures, but if you have nothing to contrast it with, then there's not an effect. It's like a birthday party, Just looking for those moments. Show normal, happy people, but then this is a factory workers' neighborhood. As you can see, these jobs that are leaving the United States and going to third world countries are not creating a new middle class. Instead, they're, living in poverty in a lot of ways. These people have thatch roofs and dirt floors. So. This is a massacre where 13 people were killed, all youth. And this is a funeral for 3 young women. That's her sister. And then at the same time, trying to evoke some sort of mood. This is a picture of a dog. This is a kind of dog. This is a factory worker's home. And they built, themselves into a barricade because of the fear of what could happen. They have this dog there to protect the house. You can see this window in the back has been bricked over with cinder blocks. People are terrified of what's going on around them. These young kids are waiting for their mom to get home from work. The people work all day and all night at these factories. This was actually really exciting as a photographer working there for a long time. This is like one of the first times I ever saw people get out and get upset and start protesting. And since then, there's been several more. But this is a young gang. As you can see, they look like normal kids. In the background is El Paso, Texas. So it's like right there, 9,000 people have been killed in this city. It's right across from the United States. This kid on the left, they're getting high, and this kid on the right, I think you see this as youth. So it's like you have that kind of layered photograph where you have an example of where they're going with their lives. That's it.